Oh, hi there. I'm Abdullah Wasfi, reading a large book. On page 1, riveting story. And I'm here to discuss with you cinema. And I will be reviewing movies today. Pirates of the Caribbean. I will use my judging system on a thumbs up or thumbs down basis. Or maybe Rotten Tomatoes or stars. But what I will do is talk about the dynamices, the controversies. You know what? I can't do this. This is Dula from Dula Media. I'm going to be telling you if a movie sucks, if it doesn't, so stay tuned and enjoy.
It's movie review time, movie review time, movie review time, movie review.
Hey guys, it's Dula from Dula Media, and I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be doing a live movie review. And the movie I've chosen for my first one is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. And in a nutshell, this movie sucked. It isn't the worst movie I've seen, but it's pretty bad. Starting with the story, it really just made no sense from the beginning. I mean, randomly, Mr. Gibbs, which is Jack's right-hand man through the first 3 movies, is in court, and Jack dresses as like a judge and tries to save him, but gets caught, and then gets put in front of this duke or baron who's really fat, and the entire time when he's talking, it just has his hands like this. And it was sort of funny, but it got a little aggravating eventually. But yeah, so this duke is trying to recruit Jack because the Spanish figured out where the Fountain of Youth was. And while he's trying to do this, randomly, Captain Barbossa just walks in, and he's just like, hey, I lost the pearl. I lost my leg. And then I'm pretty sure he lost his dignity, because now he's part of this, like, Royal Navy. He's like a admiral or something, and he has, like, powder on his face and a wig. It was funny, but it was a little stupid in my opinion. So, now that the Spanish know where the Fountain of Youth is, Britain is just like, yeah, we want to get it now too. And so Jack is like, okay, yeah, I'll help you. Then he escapes really quickly. It's actually pretty 16 how he escapes. And he meets up with Angelica, Angelica, my bad, who's played by Penelope Cruz, who's very hot. Good switch with Elizabeth. I approve. And really, she is, yeah, her story's weird, but we'll get to that. So what she eventually does is she tricks Jack, and he gets enslaved on Blackbeard's ship with my favorite character of this entire movie. Now, I don't think they've said his name once throughout the entire movie, so I'm going to call him Ralph. Just because. I don't know. And Ralph, my favorite character, because honest throughout the entire movie, he's hysterical, and he has all those moments that made me remember the movie. Like, at one point, Jack is trying to stage a coup in Blackbeard's ship, and he's like, so we'll attack them! And he's just, this one guy goes, ah! And then everyone just, and it's just funny. I don't know how to explain it, but it was hysterical. And, so, he's in the movie. He's great. Ralph, my boy. So, on Blackbeard's ship also, there's like this random missionary who is there, I think, because in the Fountain of Youth, the story they do is that there's 2 goblets, and one has to drink from one with a mermaid's tear in it, and that person gets all the life of the other person who just drank the other goblet without the tear. So I think they were trying to take him and take his life essence. So now they needed a mermaid, and when they go get one, all hell breaks loose, because these mermaids are freaking crazy. I mean, I'm never going to look at Ariel the same way. This mermaid was like all hot, and like she's really sweet. She starts singing, and everyone's like, cool, cool, cool. And then out of nowhere, she just grows fangs, and she calls all the other mermaids, and they just start picking off people and like dragging them down. And it's like sharks. All you see is a pool of red blood in the water. And so they're trying to catch these mermaids. And to be honest, it's my favorite fight scene in the entire movie. There's only like 3 fight scenes, but it is by far the best. Problem. The entire half of the fight scene is focused around Jack Sparrow, and he isn't really fighting. He's trying to run and blow up a lighthouse to scare away the mermaids. It's really, I don't know. I think it could have been done better. Missed opportunities. So they catch a mermaid, and they make their way to the Fountain of Youth, but they need the goblets to drink from. And so Blackbeard makes Jack go get them, and there he meets Barbossa, and they figure out that the Spanish actually already took the goblets. So they go and they steal them, and Jack does his really crazy escape maneuvers again, and then he eventually leads Blackbeard with the 2 goblets to the Fountain of Youth. And he also led Barbossa there because apparently Blackbeard is the one who took the pearl from Barbossa, and he keeps it in a little bottle in his ship, so Barbossa wanted revenge. And so Jack sort of stages this, like, ambush, and right when they're about to all fight, both sides, Jack just steps in and he's just like, hey, how about you fight and you fight, and then the rest of us will just chill. And my boy Ralph, he's just like, yeah, and puts his sword away, and then Blackbeard's like, attack, and they all just start fighting. And then the Spanish come in. Spanish, okay, buzzkills, first of all. They're like, okay, we're not going to really fight you throughout the entire movie. We don't really want to hurt anybody, but now we're just going to kill everybody. And they don't even want to use the Fountain of Youth. They want to destroy it, because they're Catholics, and they say only God can grant eternal life. To that I say, if God created everything, he created the Fountain of Youth, so you get to get eternal life. Bitches. So the Spanish come in, and they destroy the place, and they pretty much kill everybody who's in there. But what also happens is, when Barbossa is fighting, he actually poisons his sword, and he stabs Blackbeard. And then Angelica, which is Penelope Cruz, tries to pull the sword away and cuts herself, so they're both poisoned. And Jack actually really has feelings for Angelica. So he looks for the goblets, he's trying to figure out how to save her, and the mermaid grabs the goblets that were lost in the deep water, gives it to him, and is like, make it count. Goes away. And then Jack realizes Blackbeard's a horrible dude. So he doesn't give a crap that Penelope Cruz, who is his daughter in the movie, which was just like a random fact that was just thrown out there. She's just like, hey, my daughter. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, backstory on Penelope Cruz. She was supposed to be a nun. Not in real life, in the movie. Her character was apparently in a monastery. She was supposed to be a nun. The week before she reads her vows, Jack just trounces in, seduces her, and she's no longer, she's like the worst pirate ever. She doesn't hurt anybody. She's not really dirty. She's just there for eye candy for the boys. So thank you for that, but could have worked on that a little better. So Penelope Cruz is dying. Blackbeard's like, oh, sacrifice yourself, I'll take your life essence, and I'll live. And then she's like, oh yeah, you're my father, of course I will. Like I said, she's a horrible pirate. And there you go. He drinks and she drinks, and then Jack's like, oh, right, I tricked you. I switched them around because I knew what you guys would do, so, ha. And so Penelope Cruz, she lives, and she's all mad at Jack. She's like, you made me kill my father, and yeah. So Jack, because he doesn't really trust her, decides to throw her on an island with a pistol with one bullet. And if you've seen the other movies, you know why. It's like a pirate right. If you don't want to hang somebody or throw them overboard, you just throw them on an island with one pistol and one bullet. And he just starts sailing away. And that's where the movie ends. Actually, the movie actually goes into credits, and then there's like a little cutscene at the end where there's a voodoo doll that Blackbeard made of Jack that was just thrown over a cliff at one point, and she finds it, and then the camera just sort of cuts out. And that's the very end of the movie. But that's not the end of the review, sadly. The movie had this weird subplot that had to do with the mermaid that got caught and the missionary. The mermaid that gets caught is pretty much like being abused in every single way. They're restricting her air, she has very little water. So this guy's just trying to make sure she's alive. He's a man of God. He's a good guy. So he's working really hard, and then at one point they get the tear from her, and they leave her to die. And he falls in love with her, and she sort of falls in love with him. So he does everything he can to rescue her. And while doing so, he actually gets stabbed. So he got stabbed, and I don't know how, while he's dying, he goes, he climbs a mountain, and he crosses, this forest to get to her. He saves her, and then she just swims away. And he's just sitting there WTF, mate. She grabs the goblets for Jack, randomly, and, she knew where they would be. She comes all the way back, kisses him, and then pulls him under. And in part of the movie, they say, if you get a kiss from a mermaid, it protects you from drowning. and then nothing else happens. That's it. And my buddy made a really funny joke that was, what if the next movie, they scrapped the entire Jack Sparrow thing, and it was just like the missionary and the mermaid, and like he became a merman? I mean, like, they had no point. They could have just been like, oh, Tyr, and then left those two out. It would have done nothing to the movie. It was a random subplot. And for those reasons, because it just annoyed me so much, I'm going to give the movie a 6 out of 10. But you know what? That's not even a good score. The reason the movie did so well with me is because the entire time, every time like Jack Sparrow or Tortuga came up, I thought of the Lonely Island song, Jack Sparrow with Michael Bolton. Plug that in. So, I was just like, I was enjoying that point because of those reasons. I was like, from the Isle of Tortuga, and it was just, it made the movie better for me. And I suggest you listen to the song before you go see the movie. It's pretty funny. Disappointed. Number 5 is coming out. The studio has decided to make a 5th one, and if all goes well, they're gonna fix these mistakes. But for now, the movie stays a 6 out of 10. Thank you guys for listening. Subscribe. Peace!